In the aftermath of the US-led invasion of Iraq in 2003, the city of Fallujah emerged as a hotbed of insurgency, with a staggering 71% of its residents actively supporting or sympathizing with the anti-coalition forces. As the U.S. military struggled to maintain control, the city became a nexus of violence, with attacks on coalition forces increasing exponentially. By 2004, the situation had spiraled out of control, with the U.S. military facing a formidable enemy in the form of the Iraqi insurgency, a loose network of militants, former Ba'ath Party loyalists, and foreign fighters. The city's strategic location, situated just 40 miles west of Baghdad, made it a crucial stronghold for the insurgents. Fallujah's dense urban landscape, with its narrow streets, alleyways, and closely packed buildings, provided the perfect environment for guerrilla warfare. The insurgents had transformed the city into a labyrinthine fortress, with booby traps, snipers, and IEDs waiting around every corner. The U.S. military, still reeling from the initial invasion, was faced with the daunting task of pacifying the city. The Marines, in particular, had been tasked with the responsibility of securing Fallujah, but their efforts were met with fierce resistance. The insurgents had honed their tactics, employing sophisticated ambushes, mortar attacks, and raids, which had pushed the U.S. military to its limits. As the body count mounted, it became clear that a new strategy was needed, one that would require a fundamental shift in the way the U.S. military approached urban warfare. The city of Fallujah had become a symbol of the insurgency's defiance, a hotbed of militant activity that was bleeding the U.S. military dry. The sheer scale of the problem was daunting. In the months leading up to the battle, the city had seen a surge in violence, with attacks on coalition forces increasing by over 30%. The insurgents had created a complex network of safe houses, bunkers, and hideouts, making it impossible for the U.S. military to pinpoint their locations. They had also developed a sophisticated system of communication, using couriers, messengers, and encrypted radios to coordinate their attacks. The U.S. military, on the other hand, was struggling to adapt to the new reality of urban warfare. The conventional tactics that had served them so well in the initial invasion were no longer effective in the narrow streets and alleyways of Fallujah. The Marines, in particular, were facing a steep learning curve, as they grappled with the challenges of fighting in a densely populated urban environment. The city's infrastructure, once a testament to Saddam Hussein's regime, had become a liability, with its maze-like streets and crumbling buildings providing the perfect cover for insurgents. As the U.S. military struggled to come to terms with the situation, it became clear that a new strategy was needed, one that would require a fundamental shift in the way they approached urban warfare. The question was, what would that strategy look like, and how would it be implemented? The solution to the challenges posed by the insurgents in Fallujah would come in the form of a new strategy, one that would focus on precision, coordination, and a deep understanding of the urban environment. Dubbed Operation Phantom Fury, the plan would involve a multi-pronged approach, combining intense air power, artillery, and infantry assaults to systematically clear the city of insurgent strongholds. The Marines, led by the 1st Marine Division, would be the tip of the spear, supported by the U.S. Army's 2nd Brigade Combat Team, as well as Iraqi security forces. The key to success lay in the ability to coordinate these disparate elements, using advanced technology, such as satellite imagery, GPS, and real-time intelligence, to pinpoint insurgent positions and guide precision strikes. The U.S. military would also employ a range of new tactics, including the use of sniper teams, explosive ordnance disposal units, and psychological operations, to disrupt the insurgents' command structure and break their will to fight. Furthermore, the military would make extensive use of non-lethal means, such as leaflet drops and loudspeaker broadcasts, to encourage civilians to evacuate the city, thereby minimizing collateral damage and protecting innocent lives. As the U.S. military prepared to launch Operation Phantom Fury, it was clear that this would be a battle like no other, one that would require patience, perseverance, and a willingness to adapt to the ever-changing landscape of urban warfare. The question remained, however, whether this new strategy would be enough to defeat the entrenched insurgency and secure the city of Fallujah. As the battle raged on, the U.S. military's new strategy began to bear fruit. Sniper teams, armed with advanced scopes and night vision goggles, picked off insurgent fighters with deadly precision, often from distances of over 1,000 yards. Explosive ordnance disposal units, equipped with state-of-the-art robots and bomb suits, carefully disarmed IEDs and cleared a path for advancing troops. Meanwhile, psychological operations teams broadcast messages urging insurgents to surrender, while leaflet drops warned civilians of impending attacks, giving them a chance to flee. The use of precision-guided munitions, such as laser-guided bombs and missiles, allowed the U.S. military to strike insurgent strongpoints with minimal collateral damage. For example, on November 8, 2004, a U.S. Air Force F-15E Strike Eagle dropped a precision-guided bomb on a suspected insurgent safehouse, killing several high-ranking leaders and disrupting the enemy's command structure. Similarly, on November 10, a U.S. Army M1 Abrams tank used its advanced fire control system to engage and destroy an insurgent mortar team, silencing a key enemy strongpoint. These precision strikes, combined with the bravery and skill of U.S. and Iraqi forces, slowly but surely began to wear down the insurgency, forcing them to retreat from their fortified positions and flee into the city streets. As the battle entered its final stages, it became clear that the U.S. military's new strategy was working, but the fight was far from over. The Battle of Fallujah would ultimately prove to be a decisive victory for the U.S. military, but at a steep cost. The city lay in ruins, and over 2,000 insurgents had been killed, but the true extent of the devastation would take years to fully assess. The U.S. military suffered 54 killed and over 450 wounded, while Iraqi forces lost 8 men and had 43 wounded. As the dust settled, the city's residents began the long and arduous process of rebuilding their shattered lives. The battle marked a significant turning point in the Iraq War, as the U.S. military's new strategy of precision strikes and careful urban warfare began to pay dividends. The use of advanced technology, such as precision-guided munitions and unmanned aerial vehicles, had proven to be a game-changer on the battlefield, allowing the U.S. military to strike at insurgent strongpoints with unprecedented accuracy and minimal collateral damage. The lessons learned at Fallujah would go on to shape the course of modern warfare, as militaries around the world began to adopt similar tactics and technologies. As we reflect on the Battle of Fallujah, we are reminded that the true cost of war is not measured in bullets and bombs, but in the lives of the men and women who fight it, and the innocent civilians who are caught in the crossfire.